Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a great Thursday. Obviously, today's Friday, that day of the week we all love and kind of dread a little bit, I think, too, because you know you're going to get to have a little bit of time off if you have that kind of job, but you're just not exactly sure what you're going to be doing this weekend. All right, looking at the numbers already, currently we're starting score is 23 YouTube, 12 Rumble. Also, I'm pretty sure it was Andy who was the first on the Rumble side. But once you refresh your browser, because that's the way Rumble works when you do a live stream, you lose those people that were in there initially. So I'm saying I think it was Andy that was first. Good Boys Guild was number 2. And whoever else is there in there lurking around on the Rumble side, it's probably the feds. But anyway, got to chat. We got to actually, no, we need to let's go ahead and do the YouTube side. Over on the YouTube side, Bradley Collins first, Jordan number 2, Rosie, you are deterred, and Doug Frost, the guy who owns one of the biggest swimming pools in Texas right now, that's because he got hit by that hurricane. There's a couple of you out there that I know of. And it's good pictures, Frost. Good pictures. I'm not sure why you're standing in your driveway in knee-deep water, actually thigh-deep water, in your pajamas. Nice. Let's see. We've got Josh is here. Josh, good morning. Welcome to Monday number 5. Good one, Josh. West Virginia Pappy's in the house. Catitude, Tementio, Cuck V. Where are we at here? Cool Colt. There we go. Let's see here. And he's being serious. Bob Peta's here. Ian and Big Prepper. 2x4, 4x4, 5x5. So my sound is good. Also seeing that West Virginia Pappy is omnipresent on Rumble as well. Laser is in the house. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Looks like the numbers are slowly creeping up. We can get started here shortly. The morning's poll on YouTube is obviously it's going to be related to our subject of community today. And it's what do you think is the most important first step in building a successful prepper community? Your choices are establish clear communications, identify and recruiting people, organizing skill sharing workshops, holding regular meetings. And right now, identifying and recruiting people is 62%. Establish clear communications. It was supposed to be clear communication channels, but YouTube only allows me to use so many characters. Is at 15%. Organized skills shared workshops, 8%, and holding regular meetings, 15%. So basically, finding and talking with the people is the most important thing based off of this particular poll. It currently has 13 votes. I'm sure there'll be more by the end of the time. If you guys have not hit that thumbs up, please do so now. It draws the people into the algorithm, and the algorithm says, come see this guy talk about crazy stuff. All right. It looks like the numbers are starting to level out. We've got 22 YouTube, 20 on Rumble. Let's see here. Okay, so one of the reasons that I decided to do today about community, because it's a good happy joy subject for a Friday. Also, my gun club meetings are on. They go on a Thursday, and so we plan out what we're going to do, and then on this weekend we go out and we do the pew stuff. But also those meetings are a sense of community as well, because many of the people there, that's their Friday night. They get to hang out with us, and we just talk smack about the old, gunpowder and what's the word I'm looking for here? Weights, bullet weights, and stuff like that. And I'm not really a super duper gun guy. Carried one for years. Don't really care for the technical specifications anymore. But building community is once you're in a community, it can be very satisfying. It can be very satisfying. I think that you guys need to be looking for that. Think you need to be trying to build it. I know there's a couple of you in here that actually have mags, so you know what I'm talking about. So maybe I can give you some fresh ideas or something to think about to make your mag even better. Before I start running on I'm going to give Doug a chance to reply. The water boots were chafing my legs. I had to wrap my legs. I've got you. Let's see. And Doug also says, and the red ants were biting my legs. Yeah, I can imagine all those ants just floating around in 4 feet of water. Nick says, good morning, LP. I had to start work early. Just wanted to stop in and say a quick hi. I'm sending you some pics of our MAG meeting this weekend. Nice. How are you sending them, Nick? Well, I guess they'll show up. I guess they'll show up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, we need to refuel the old lozenges with some coffee. Get that all done like that. Let's see here. Building a community is essential for several reasons, beginning with the increased resilience it provides in times of crisis, whether natural disasters, economic collapse, or other emergencies. Having a network of like-minded individuals can significantly enhance the chances of survival. This is due to the diverse skills and resources that a community can pull together. Instead of relying solely on one's capabilities, being part of a community allows for the sharing of knowledge, tools, and labor, ensuring that all members can support each other effectively. Now, a little change of things. Boom. That's right. I've got 2 cameras now, guys. And hopefully the sound is working, because the way the software works, it just kind of does this weird thing. Just a quick admin note, very quick. People ask about the shirts that I wear, so I'm starting to put links to the shirts that I wear. I'll put one in the description. I'll also put one in the top chat when this video is done. That way you guys will have them. I think that the importance of community can never be overstated. It's one of those things where we're just kind of think that it's going to happen all by itself, and it won't. It will not happen all by itself. It normally, unless you go out and actively try to build some type of community, group, organization, whatever you want to call it, what normally happens is that it will take an event to draw people together when there's not 1 or 2 people trying to physically build something. Something happened to me this week. It was kind of interesting to me. I think it was. I found it very odd that the community almost converged around me. People that I'd never spoken to but only seen in passing had questions for me. And one day we'll talk about it. I'll probably talk about it during the live Patreon on Sunday, where I'll be giving away that damn radio, the radio that won't go away, guys. I'll be giving that away on Sunday. By the way, guys, you cannot win anything unless you're either a Patreon or you are inside of the members group here on YouTube. I don't even know what to physically call that anymore, because it's kind of getting like, I don't know what its real name is. It's so weird. Also, you're going to start seeing more and more changes on the channel, just making the channel better and better and better and better. And a lot of it has to do with the amount of time that I have to spend figuring out all the fancy doodads and such. What do we got here? I need to put the banner up. I need to put that brand up there so that people know that we have prep stock sponsors and stuff like that. I mean, this video does not have a sponsor. This is my video, but obviously prep stock is going, so that's all going to happen. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go and check the chats real quick. Looks like there's a couple things on the Rumble side. I don't have people. West Virginia Pappy says, if you don't have people, there is no one to there's no one to communicate with. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you can talk to you can talk to Wilson. Wilson will keep you live. Oh, Wilson will keep you live all day long, man. Gotcha, Nick. You're going to send them via Instagram, the one app that I rarely use, but hey, dude, I'll check Instagram later today. All right, let's see here. See, Josh says, add the chat is working, but the video feed never started. Opened it and another browser and it was playing. On YouTube, Josh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't get to control the powers of either YouTube or Rumble. Bradley says humans are naturally tribal, but the more people in the tribe, the more dividend it can divided it can become. Absolutely true. I literally so in the meeting last night, and I hate to say it, but I'm probably the youngest. I'm probably the youngest one there, and it's actually a very small club, but lots and lots and lots of talk about trying to solve a problem, but nobody could actually see the problem. It took a little while for me to figure it out, but then it all came down to we needed somebody to vet people. You know, there was a gentleman who I'd never met before. He was the one who was actually doing all the vetting, and he retired and moved up to New York. And so it was difficult at first to identify what the problem was, but once it was, obviously I solved the problem. So it is what it is. Now things will run hopefully a little bit smoother. With the being divided on certain things, it's not so much about arguing, it's more about agreeing, What we got here? Big Prepper says, I do find it funny how in order to preserve our way of life in SHTF situation, we will have to embrace communist/social ideas of living, working, and sharing everywhere. It is to an extent, Big Prepper, but here's the thing. We have been so socially programmed over the last maybe 20 years. God, I sound old when I can say that. The last 20 years, to think about things kind of in a box. Like everything has a term, everything has a phrase, and I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong, and I think that we should be cognizant of these things happening, and then us regurgitating it. So what I think the point that I'm getting to is that just because we're social doesn't mean that we're socialists. And I'm not saying that's not what you meant, but it kind of came out that way. And we have to come back to the reality. Okay, so would you rather live in a community where nobody knew each other, or would you rather live in a community where no, let's just make this simple. Let's make this simple. Would you rather live in a community where when the street lights came on, your kids came home? They came to dinner. Would you rather live in a community where, and put one in the chat if you agree, would you rather live in a community where if something went wrong or one of your kids did something, that person was going to call your parents and not the police? Would you rather live in a community where once that wrong had been identified by the parents, your kids and you would be going to that other person's house to make an apology and make amends? Would you live in that kind of world? Because that's a world of community. Okay. Because without that, they can't call your parents. They don't know your parents' phone number. They don't know who they are. They have no way of reaching your parents. You see what I'm saying? So, and I think that that's the kind of world that's a better world, that is an actual like community. Okay. So think of those more in a way that, or I think it benefits us to think of community as a good thing versus the whole socialist idealist of those things. So let's see here. Cool Cult says, I agreed, Bird. All of a sudden, you have many chiefs. Yeah, you got to watch out for that stuff. You got to watch out for that stuff. Ian says that radio seems like a bad penny. You just can't get rid of it. You know what I think? You know what I might start doing, Ian, is kind of do it the way I did it with you, where it's a surprise gift. And that way you don't even know what's coming. You just know you're getting something for free. I think people they're kind of better, but then I don't have anything to show you, maybe I'll make like a box. What's in the box? Something like that, That's not a bad idea. If you like the idea of the magical what's in the box, put a 2 in the chat for me. I like a clear consensus here because, I do like giving things away. Technically, I don't even run this like a business, but because I'm giving things to people, I actually get to write them off. So, take that for what it's worth. All right, let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says that's the way I grew up. Yeah, absolutely. They're longing for better days. There are better things. There were better things, so on and so forth. Let's see. Hicktown Honey's talking about a 3-day musical event yesterday. It was Trace Adkins, Joe Dean, Messina, and I was excited to see it. Gotcha. Well, that sounds great. That sounds awesome. Let's see here. Rose says, not try to go back to the 50s and 60s. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say going back. I would say that maybe using something that actually worked that was better than what we have today. All right, so it seems as if I got a lot of 2s. You guys like the magic box theory? Okay, I got to make a mental note. Make a magic box. All right, so let's go ahead and go on back to the actual stuff we're talking about here. Doing a quick poll check. Currently, identifying and recruiting people is still number 1 at 67%. And right now, Rumble is winning 37-24. YouTube, get your trash together. All right, let's see here. So I guess the next thing to talk about, drinking coffee. Drink. It's funny too, guys, because I feel a yawn like right here and it won't come up. So trust and cooperation is the next thing that we need to talk about. Trust and cooperation are the foundations of any successful community. In a prepper community, these elements become even more crucial. Trust ensures that members can rely on one another, which is vital during high-stress situations. Developing trust involves regular communication, transparency, and accountability. Regular meetings, shared activities, and open discussions about plans and expectations help build this trust. Cooperation, on the other hand, involves the ability to work together harmoniously. This means recognizing and valuing each person's strengths, and contributions, and working towards common goals. With all that said, Doug Frost, LPs, let's make a deal, magic box. I got you. With that said, there's a lot about. So trust and cooperation is difficult, and it automatically links us to the phrase like-minded individuals. And it's like, so you can't trust anybody who isn't a like-minded individual, but you have to kind of like open yourself up to find that like-minded individual so that you can trust them. But if you don't do that, then you can't trust them. You see how it doesn't really work out if you don't open yourself a little bit? That's one of the reasons that I started doing this about 3 years ago, so that people would actually have like some kind of community, so that everything that they did wouldn't be so compartmentalized. That's why I never like, hey, show me your guns. I never do that kind of stuff, because that's not what this is all about. It's not a big old gun club. Nobody's trying to be tactical, cool. Everybody's got their stuff. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. And with trust does come cooperation. For instance, today I need to call the gentleman who owns the property that the club's range is on. It's an established range, but it's for the club only. But our rules say that we need to give him a call and say, hey, we'd like to come out on such and such a day, and this is how many people we're expecting, and this is what we're going to do. And he's a member of the club as well, so it's not a huge deal. But if that day that wasn't a good day for them, then well, it is what it is. And he trusts that we'll respect what he's saying, and in turn, we will cooperate with his wishes. So it does work that way. There is a community mentality once you can gather enough people together that have your same values or value ideas, should I say. And that's a weird turn of phrase too. Value ideas of value. That same idea. You have the same idea that I have, that and that we both value that. I don't know. I think we're getting way too emotional right now. So, Cool Colt. Cool Colt says, with our social media and friends across the world, you once had to make friends across the street, i.e., community. Actually, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Colt. But here's the thing: why didn't you? Why don't you just walk across the street? Is it maybe you're in a situation where you don't want to knock on a door because you might get shot? I don't know. But what I'm saying is just that why haven't you walked across the street and said, I woke up this morning and I was really thinking about it. And this is going to sound weird, by the way, hey, my name's so and so, and I live across the street. And I realized that I've never even talked to you before. Nothing more than a, hey, how you doing? Going out the door to work, that kind of thing. And I just want to let you know, if you ever want to hang out, just come knock on my door or whatever. And I hope you have a great day. I mean, what happened to the days of, the neighborhood welcoming committee where somebody brought somebody a fruit cake. You know what I'm saying? Fruit cake. Is it cake or is it not? That's going to be my next poll question too. Is fruit cake really a cake? That's kind of funny. So it's difficult to trust people, but once you do, then it's all about having those common ideals and your ability to cooperate with them, and that means give and take. So I think that those are things that we should probably try and think about more. I think we're going to be better for it. All right, let's see here. Rose put something in here. There was the no was for Doug Frost commenting on back in the Gotcha community had extended from years, so gave away my age. Live in a village, whether you live in it or miles apart, as the rural versus urban. Yeah, Rose, absolutely. The thing is, you could have a neighbor and that neighbor could live a mile down the road. And you know what? I'm going to bet you that neighbor is pretty happy to know that they have a neighbor who might show up and check on them, and bring them a fruitcake. But no sponge cake. Sponge cake is the worst cake. If you know where that phrase comes from, sponge cake is the worst cake. Put it in the chat. That's actually a thing. Let's see. Rose says attitude changes when neighbors change, less communication. That's true. We got here McGill's Design. I don't recognize your name, bro. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm here Monday through Friday. It says, too bad many of us have fruitcakes living next door. Ask that guy in Cleveland that snatched those 3 girls. Hard to trust people. You're right. It is hard to trust people. It really is. I think the first step is realizing that isolating yourself is going to do nothing for you. Nothing. Because if the guy next door wants to snatch one of your kids, you're not going to even have the slightest clue. It's just going to happen, right? It's going to happen. It's going to happen whether you know him or not. It's going to happen. Okay? So if it's going to happen, there's nothing you can do to stop it. You see what I'm saying? I guess that's kind of a fate, thing. I think that the karma can offset the fate, but now we're really getting deep if we're talking about fate and karma. So, but yeah, it's a valid statement. Bradley says, well, time for company meeting. Have a great day and I'll catch up. All right, Bradley, take it easy, man. I hope you have a great day. Let's see here. Doug's talking. Doug, man, you're just, I'm glad to have you back around, man. I haven't talked to you in like forever. Doug says, I have to give it to my neighbors. They helped me out a lot this last week because I'm by myself here. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You know, there's a lot to be said for being a good neighbor. There really is. All right, let's go ahead and let's see. Hicktown Honey's talking about how it's 28 artists in 3 days. Definitely something I'd okay. First aid kit in my fanny, all the supplies for rain, packed all my food. Hicktown Honey's going all out for this concert. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is skills and knowledge sharing. Got to drink that coffee. There we go. A significant advantage of a prepper community is the ability to share and diversify skills and knowledge. No single individual can master all the necessary skills, except for me, but a community can cover a wide range of expertise. This might include medical knowledge, agricultural skills, mechanical repair, security tactics, and more. Regular workshops and training sessions can be organized to ensure that all members are equipped with basic skills and can step in when needed. This collaborative learning environment not only enhances individual capabilities, but also strengthens the overall resilience of the community. A simple example that is pertinent to this conversation that we're having right now is one of the solutions was that I had volunteered to be a range safety officer. I had done that for many years in the Marine Corps, from everything from artillery shells to attack helicopters. I mean, if you pretty much you can name it. And they didn't have anything like that, but they also didn't have anybody that was willing to teach anybody. So if you've got this group of older gentlemen who just want to go out on the weekend and go pew pew, and not have to worry about some, nut bag, then you actually need somebody who's willing to teach firearm safety, to teach range safety, to teach respecting of these tools. And they didn't have anybody that was willing to do that. So I stepped up and took that job. So now this club that is basically just meeting to have meetings and discussing bylaws and not really actually doing anything that they wanted to do when they started the club can now actually start doing that. And maybe we can get some new blood in there, and we can start to revitalize this thing that brought these people together, And the same thing, it can be said, is true to a prepper movement, to a prepper group, to a mag, that these are the people that have the same belief system, that they have the same likes, for lack of better. Matter of fact, if you guys haven't hit that like button, it's a perfect segue. Hit that like button and draws people in. And it's funny too, because when you slowly start to talk and discuss things, you find that the problems or the solutions to your problems are right in front of your face. Also, and how people's ideas will change over time as well, and how groups, mags, organizations, clubs will change, communities will change over time. And those are things that we have to be observant of. We have to be cognizant of. For instance, the in the poll has changed. There's now 22 votes, and as people collaborate, they change their ideas towards certain things. So the question was, what do you think the most important first step in building a successful prepper community is? And now identifying and recruiting people has changed from 67% to 55%. Now, establishing clear communication is starting to gain weight. Holding regular meetings and organizing skills are about the same, but it is a thing. It is a thing, guys. So we should probably make sure that, man, I've got this all turned on forever, didn't I? But things are going to change whether we like it or not. It's just how they change and whether we're willing to guide that change in the community. Miguel says, good point. I agree. Isolation doesn't add to your situation. At best, it keeps you at neutral. At worst, it puts you in a disadvantage. It does. Because when you're isolating yourself, one of the things that could be happening is that someone else might have stepped up and started to form the group. And now you've isolated yourself from a group that you probably should have been part of the entire time. Andy Pearson, thank you very much. 20 people, 6 likes. Come on, man. That's malarkey. Anyway, let's see here. Debbie showed up. Good morning, my friend. Let's see here. Tom says, Tom Larson. I don't recognize you, Tom. I think I recognize your picture, but I don't recognize your name. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. He says, beware the people who feel that since they are your community, your supplies are their supplies. Yes. Yes, knowledge is power, and people don't need to know what you have until you decide they need to know what you have. Absolutely, 100%, 100%, Tom. Okay, let's go ahead and believe it or not, YouTube is back in the lead, 28-20. Let's see here. We're going to talk about. And do you guys like the whole? Do you guys like the whole double camera thing? It's kind of clunky, but I think it's a good idea. It switches things up, kind of get your brain going a little bit. Put something in the chat. Put new here. I'm sub. Oh, cool, Tom. Appreciate you, bro. So the next thing we're going to talk about is resource management. Got to drink that coffee. I think because my throat just kind of like dries out because I'm doing all the talking here, man. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Let's see here. Resource management. Effective resource management is another critical aspect of a successful prepper community. By pooling resources, which Tom and I were just talking about, the exact polar opposite. By pooling resources, a community can create a more substantial and diversified stockpile of necessities such as food, water, medical supplies, and tools. This collective approach also allows for bulk purchasing, which can be more cost effective and ensure that everyone has access to essential items. Additionally, a community can establish shared spaces for storage and communal gardens for farms to sustain long-term food supplies. Proper management and fair distribution of these resources are critical to maintain harmony and ensuring that all members' needs are met. Now, you guys are probably pulling your hair out right now when I'm talking about this, but here's the thing. Resource management is the strength, it's the thing that either is going to make you your group so strong it can't be touched, or it could rip it apart. Okay. And so if I go through what I've written for you here, line by line, it kind of goes, just rubs raw. It rips the skin off the core that preppers have, okay, that preparedness has. And so by pooling resources, a community can create a more substantial and diversified stockpile of necessities such as food, water, medical supplies, and tools. And people are just like, no one's touching my stuff, man. Don't touch my stuff. If you touch my stuff, I'll kill you. What movie's that from? Who knows what movie's that from? Anyway, so that kind of tears at us, okay? And because it's the collective approach, and the idea is that maybe you had a group, and they're and they all put in to buy bulk things in bulk, but there's always going to be, because if your community isn't strong enough, if the commitment of every member isn't strong enough, there's always going to be that one or two people that decide that they want to take their ball and go home. And then they're going to be like, well, they're going to start doing, consumer mathematics, that 8th grade consumer mathematics, where well, I gave you guys such and such amount of money, and you bought such and such amount of food, so I should get certain percentage of this stuff back, and I'll be back with my truck tomorrow to get it and inconvenience everybody in the group and all that crap, right? You're going to have those people. You're definitely going to have those people. So you should be aware of that. And then also when things start to get scarce, let's say you're the last group in town, the apocalypse has came and went, and now it's all about the last man or group standing. And now you got to put like a guard on your food storage, because you know damn well someone's going to want a Snickers bar in the middle of the night just because they got into the liquor cabinet. Okay. It's a resource management is going to be key regardless of if you're in a group or not. But the nice thing about being in a group is you got people to guard your stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and check the chat here, right here. Laser says he likes the cameras. Okay. I like the cameras too. Let's see here. I'm working. It's a work in progress, guys. I think there's some limitations based off of how I have this banner over here on the side here. Also, the cameras. When I use the second camera, no sound gets like outputted, and so I think it's just a limitation of the software that I can pay for more software, but I can probably push through it or something. Let's see here. Where we got here? Tom says North Michigan here. Gotcha, bro. Where we got Frank Roper says, I lived in Galveston County in the late 60s, and you remind me of a man who lived there, but he was older than you. Well, thank you, Frank. I appreciate you. And Frank, I don't recognize you, but thank you for hanging out. Hit that subscribe button. We're gonna talk more, Frank. Let's see here. Debbie says, pickle juice helps. Pickle juice. Debbie, what does pickle juice help? What did I miss here? Are we treating the ant bites on Frosty's legs? I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see. Tom says that still makes one person in charge of distribution keys. Be careful. Yes, exactly. Douglas. Oh, Frost, honey, settle down, Francis. George says Waterworld. No, that was actually from Stripes. That last one I did was from Stripes. Billy Jack, top of the morning. Good morning, Billy Jack. I don't recognize you. Hit that subscribe button. I'm here Monday through Friday. Let's see here. And where we got Tom says, I have 8 kids. You have 1. I get more. Yeah, exactly. Well, I raised 6 kids, Tom. So I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. And Doug says Stripes, of course. All right, so it looks like not really a lot of talk about resource management, because I basically told you give your stuff away, and you're like, I don't like that. But it is what it is. I think it's all situational. I myself would love to have like some place, even if it was my own property, because it's all about like where the stuff is. Okay, and if there's no way, I mean, humans are such bad things. We really, we're really bad for ourselves, So let's play out the simple scenario. I have a property, and I've agreed that everybody's going to come there, can come there if they want to, but they have to contribute, and that you do all that, and I'll just buy the stuff, and then you can come whenever you want to, no questions asked. And then one day all hell breaks loose and everybody shows up, and it's like, okay, this is the plan, guys. We already did all this. We've already agreed to all this. Let's just set up our rotations and try to survive. Okay. Because that's the goal at that. I mean, obviously the goal is to thrive, but the end goal is to survive, for our kids to live and have a place, they can call home, and such and things. So what happens when I decide I don't want to be a prepper anymore, and I tell you to come get all your stuff? Now I'm inconveniencing everybody, or what if all hell does break loose and I just lock the gate? Yeah. Those are the worries. Those and I think that those are like the core of people's fear in group preparedness. I'm trusting that you're going to watch out for me and that I'm going to watch out for you. And that if you eat a turnip, I get to eat a turnip. Okay. I'm trusting. That's the thing about that group preparedness. So, and I know that there are like mags out there that have these types of stores and stocks set aside at a bug out location. But I also know that these people also have a backup plan at home. Like we're not, if we don't go, we still have stuff here. So they're mitigating some of that. But at the core, it's that human, I guess I hate to say it, but it's like this human desire to control our own fate, our own destiny. And when we start talking about resources that we need to survive, it's very difficult to release that and say, I'm going to trust that no one's going to get into these because someone's going to be watching out that I trust. So what do we got here? Let's see. Anja. Let's see. Well, oh no, what time is it in Germany? It's like 5-6 hours difference, something like that. I can't remember how to say. Oh, no. It's was it Guten Tag? Did I say that right? It's been so long since I spoke any German. Anyway, let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says a watertight root cellar for storage. Gotcha. Andy Parents, that's a fact, Jack. Let's see here. Jordan says we have the issue at the homestead. One brother wants everything. Everyone's stuff on his portion of the land he inherited. So now we have to scramble to move everything to another location. So, well, that I guess that is an issue. That is an issue. I can see that being a problem from two perspectives. Checking the score, guys. Checking the score right now, 24-22. YouTube is in the lead. And the question on the poll on YouTube, what do you think is the most important first step in building a successful prepper community? We now have 28 votes, and identifying and recruiting people has dropped to 43%. Catching up quickly is establishing clear communication. Yeah, so things are changing. All right, now I've slowly segued into some of the more like things you need to think about, things you need to feel about, and we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty here in a second. Here, time to drink that coffee though. That's the most important thing in the world. So we're going to talk about emotional and psychological support. Lastly, a prepper community provides essential emotional and psychological support. Facing potential disasters alone can be incredibly daunting and stressful. Being part of a community offers a sense of belonging and security, knowing that others are there to help and support you. Regular social interactions, which is what we've been talking about the whole time, and communal activities, things we do together, can alleviate feelings of isolation and anxiety. Furthermore, in times of actual crisis, having a support system can significantly impact mental health, offering comfort and reassurance that no one is facing the challenges alone. Guys, going it alone, back when we were talking about those werewolf preppers, and I'm a lone wolf, and it's I kind of turn the phrase, a lone wolf is a dead wolf. And because if you don't know anything about wolves and pack mentality, that once a wolf that has been shunned from the pack, they normally don't survive very long, even though they have the full capability and skills to stalk and kill their prey and live as a wolf. But because they have a primal instinct to be part of a pack, it constantly is draining on them. You've got to look at the psychological aspect of having a group that you're inside of, and that this is going to be one of the keys to survival. It's going to be incredibly important. If you think that you're going to go with this alone, I'm telling you right now, you are wrong. It's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do or say. You are absolutely wrong. It's not going to happen. That damn dog next door. This is the living in the city. Can you hear that dog? This is living in the city. Matter of fact, I may know what that dog is barking at. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. That dog has some issues with abandonment. It's a great dog, but if the owner even steps outside, it'll just sit in front of the downstairs window and just bark. Yeah. So we'll just have to do that. We're almost done here anyway. So, but the psychological aspect is extremely important. So let's see. Let's see. Robert says that he's finding it hard to obtain property with some resources that are within a reasonable distance. How far are most willing to drive or walk? Um, that's situational, Robert. That's going to be completely situational. And eh, what's it's situational. There's no way around that. My bug out property was 5.5 hours away before I made some changes. So it's all based off of what you're trying to accomplish. Finding stuff local is going to be difficult, but I would also not. So here's the thing: if you want to have a bug out location that is local, but there are properties all over the place that will not offer you like water, that will not offer you land to hunt on, but they will offer you the ability to not be in your house. You see what I'm saying? So I don't. There's no real fix for your problem. There's no real fix for your problem, Robert, other than moving. And I think that people these days just don't move enough. I really don't. I never really spent more than 3 years in one place most of my entire life. So it's being nomadic is a different way of living, but finding that perfect spot, if you could find that perfect spot, move there. That way you don't have to worry about this stuff. All right, let's see here. Building a prepper community. So the last thing we're going to talk about, and let's see, right now we're at 28-21. YouTube is winning today, and the identifying, recruiting, and recruiting people has dropped to 43%. So things are changing as we speak. So building a prepper community, to build a successful prepper community, and let's just go ahead and summarize everything we talked about so far. To build a successful prepper community, start by identifying like-minded individuals who share similar values and preparedness goals. The key thing there is similar values, because everybody wants to survive. Everybody wants to live. They want to thrive. They want to be happy. Okay. So finding people with the same preparedness goals isn't that difficult once you find people with some similar values. Now, this can be done through local events, social media groups like what I do. If you guys don't know, there's a Discord group where we talk every single day. Yes, there is a core of people that do most of the talking, but those are the people that want to be the most involved. But you could hang out there. There's a link in the description. But once a core group is established, hold regular meetings to discuss plans, share knowledge, and build trust. Establish clear communication channels and set up a structure for decision making and conflict resolution. That is a video unto itself. That is actually going to be one of the key things that I will be talking about at Prep Stock when I'm giving the Apocalypse Leadership class. So if you're not signed up for prepstock.net, please go check that out. Get your tickets. It's before the election, so it's going to go. Organize skill sharing workshops and communal projects to foster cooperation and interdependence. Regularly review and update preparedness plans and ensure that all members are actively involved and committed to the community's goals. Guys, I don't know that I could actually summarize it any better than that. Things are always going to be changing. Things are always going to be, in flux. Let's see here. There we go. Jordan says warehouse spaces outside of town are nice. I got you. Jordan says I have a Velcro dog too. I don't know what a Velcro dog is. You'll have to tell me what that means sometime, Jordan. I can't believe I never turned off that damn banner. You guys should have said something to me, man. Banner's still on. I'd been glad to just. I can't believe that's been on the whole time. Not happy about it. Not happy about it. Okay, as we spoke before, the T-shirt. I'll put a link in the description after this thing gets done recording on YouTube or whatever. I'll also put one on the top chat. That way you guys can go get it if you want it. I like to switch these things up. I've got 5, 6, 10 of these things. So looks like the poll ended out at 43% identifying and recruiting people, 36% establishing clear lines of communication, 14% holding regular meetings, and 7% organizing skill sharing workshops. Okay, let's see. I will be streaming that. Will you be streaming the talks? Laser, no, we will not be doing that. And the reason is because people paid to be there. So we cannot give away something for free that other people have paid for. That is not it's not ethical. It's easy for me to say that standing on my soapbox because the internet out there sucks. It's a state park. So we wouldn't be able to do it anyway. Now we have thought about doing some recording of certain things. We will be doing a lot of recording for historical purposes, to share certain things, to do after videos, things like that. But no, we will not be doing that. They tried to do that on the very first prep stock, and the guy who did all the recording disappeared. So it's just another chink in the armor that we don't want to have. So looks like I have 4 comments on the YouTube side. What do we got here? So why is a sponge? Rose says, hold on, Rose. I got to put that on here. So why is a sponge cake the worst cake? It is because it may have no flavor of itself, takes on the flavor of fruits or juices served with it. Have been looking, no idea. It's actually from a TV show. There's a TV show called what is it? Below Deck, and I think it's Below Deck Mediterranean. And the food that they serve on these $1 million yachts it's like 5-star, and no one gets fed fruitcake. And there was a situation where a new chef came on and thought he can get away with serving fruitcake. I'm not sorry, not fruitcake, but sponge cake. And the chief stew said, sponge cake is the worst cake, which is absolutely true. So that's where that came from. Let's see here. Billy Jack says there's no workaround here that I would be even joining for anything. I might find a job. Well, that's probably a good start, Billy Jack. Get that job, man. Jordan says Velcro like the dog sticks to you. You can't go anywhere without them. Separation issues. I've got you. Okay, that makes sense now. And then what we got here? Bob says the campground I live at for half the year is 20 minutes away. For a few of the like-minded people that there is, I would say, sure. There's so many words. Gotcha. But the camp. That's right, Bob. I think you've showed us pictures of that campsite before. You were like roasting something at the fire or something. Yes, Below Deck. I watch Below Deck every chance I get. It's a good show. Gotta get that whole. I can't do nothing, but all I do is like spend like 5-6 hours a day making prepper stuff for you guys. And you think all this stuff just happens just cause? It's work, man. It's work. That's why I keep telling people, join the Patreon, join the YouTube, things are changing, guys. Things are changing. Let's see. I think that's going to be about it, right? Looks like the identifying and recruiting of people for that poll is down 40%, and established clear communication is now 40%. So, yeah, things change. They always change. We're going to go ahead and throw that one up there. Bajoom, just like that. Cha-cha. All right, guys. As usual, I don't like that one because I can talk to you straight this way. As usual, as you do me a favor, hit that thumbs up as you go out the door. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm here 5 days a week, and I actually make videos on top of that, which I apologize. I just have not had time this week to make a video. There's a lot of stuff going on. I literally just had time to watch the first half of the president's press call or conference or whatever you want, and he screwed up the first question. I was like, I'm done. So I don't even know if I'll finish watching that. That's how much time I've had. All right, that's going to be about it, guys. Do me a favor, if you like what I'm doing, support the channel. There's a ton of links below. If you want to start prep stock, there's lots of stuff in there. You're going to find some serious deals. As usual, stay safe, have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you, which should be on Monday, unless you remember the Discord or the Patreon, which there are links below for that as well. We'll talk to y'all later, guys. Bye-bye. I'm going to push some button over here real quick. That one.